You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Welcome to another edition of the Awakening Women podcast. In this edition, we're talking about how overachieving people pleasers, those with codependency and anxious attachments, end up becoming really indecisive about making decisions in their lives. And one of those ways show up in our relationships because we are tending toward people pleasing. Then we tend to stay in relationships, jobs, friendships, situations well past their expiration date because we have a hard time cutting things off, walking away, saying no, realizing that looking at our inner programming and the rules we've made for ourselves around relationships that it's not being nice to hurt someone else's feelings. It's not nice to end a relationship or walk away, especially when they're trying to make it work. So it seems. And so we have to recognize that some of what happens when you're trying to make that decision about whether to stay and keep working on a relationship or when to walk away is to recognize that your programming around being a quote-unquote nice woman could be keeping you trapped. It's the programming that we've received since we were little girls around be nice, be polite, don't talk back, don't have emotions, don't upset people, don't be rude, don't be this, don't be that. But the thing is that stifling our truth leads to resentment. And most times women stay because of guilt and fear. And there's a difference between healthy guilt and toxic guilt. We need to have some guilt. If we don't have any guilt or remorse, then we tend toward being a sociopath. We don't want that. So we do need to have some guilt. But the difference is that healthy guilt alarms us when we are out of alignment with who it is that we want to be as a woman, as a mother, as just a human being. And it's a way to wake us up to move us back into alignment. That is healthy guilt. But toxic guilt is a chronic sense of failing, not feeling good enough, like I'm not good enough, that you are being a bad mom, you're failing your kids, and on it goes. And usually when we have the guilt, it is because we are breaking some unspoken unconscious rules we've been living by. So we need to rewire these toxic dysfunctional rules, keep the ones that make sense, that we do actually align with as far as our values go, but no longer having this toxic guilt. So we need to look at our stories, look at where we are operating from past programming. And we need to recognize what the cost is to staying stuck in a relationship like this without any forward movement. And so instead of asking yourself, should I stay or should I go? My advice has always been, and it will always be, bring the focus to your own fullness, joy, pleasure, and wholeness. That is your only work. You do not need to do anything else. Your brain will tell you, yeah, but I got to figure this out. I got to know for sure. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. You just have to stop that and put the focus, redirect it to your own self work. You can't think your way out of something that needs to be deeply felt. And so you have to learn how to feel your way through this, how to master your emotions, how to become non-reactive to things, to emotionally detach, to become unbothered by things that are going on around you. And I know that can be hard when you're dealing with an abusive spouse that is bringing chaos and mayhem. But the more that you learn to be emotionally mastered and not react, the less it's going to create that ripple effect. It's not going to escalate as far. You will kind of be able to shut it down before it starts to go off the rails, and you will have ways to do that when you start to know how to be in your own body, regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system. And so it's really important to know, what is your indecision costing you? And remember that an indecision, limbo, is a decision. And it's asking yourself, can I be in this relationship and still grow, heal, evolve, expand, reach my goals, have the success I want, have the body I want, have the health I want? Can I do all of those things within the container of this relationship? That's a bigger question to ask yourself. Now, what I've done is, I'm really excited about this. I came up with this idea and I created it. It is a cost of staying stuck calculator. So it's a self-assessment where you will end up with a calculation to the dollar amount that staying stuck in this relationship is costing you, because that appeals to high-achieving, success-driven, high-earning women. And this is a way for you to also take your power back around your money, because the thing that I learned as a six-figure earning coach is I always thought that my money issues or my relationship with money would improve when I made more money. But what I learned is that that is not the case. We can make good money, have the money, but be really awful at managing it, or we leak it and we give our power away. And so in this self-assessment, you're going to look at what is the financial cost to you by staying in this relationship. And then you're going to have an overall rating around your emotional, energetic cost. Your cost overall, your well-being. So you will have an explanation as to what that is and how that's impacting you. So this is really important to see this on a holistic level. I've not seen or heard anyone else talking about the connection between being in toxic relationships as a high-earning, success-driven, high-achieving woman who makes good money, but you are leaking your financial power all the same. And so I'm covering that in this free assessment. You can get it. The link will be in the show notes of this episode. You can download it and just fill it out, or you could pull the PDF up if you don't want to print it out and just write your answers in your phone notes. So this will help you to have clarity. We'll leave you with a tangible, something you have in writing, something that's in front of you. And for my type A ladies that like checklists, you like to come up with numbers, crunch numbers, see something in front of you, this is going to help you very much, because awareness is the first step. And then once we have awareness of the problem and we really see this relationship is impacting my professional life, my ability to bring income in, my ability to invest my income, my ability to make more income, my ability to keep the money that I'm earning, because here is what this is actually costing me. And I break it down in the assessment. You know, in these uncertain times, it's really important to recognize that the most dangerous thing is not knowing who you can trust. And this is exactly what narcissistic abuse creates, is this inability to trust other people. And it creates a nervous system that's always in overdrive. Emotional safety has to be a non-negotiable when things around you are unstable, right? There's lots going on in the world right now. We don't need to make this into a political conversation. I choose to stay in my lane. I don't get too into that because I just think there's so much noise around it already. I find it really annoying, and so I'm not posting about it because I find it annoying when people that I am following, not for politics, start putting that in. I'm someone that, with everything, I have a middle ground, sort of a middle road perspective on things. I don't go far left, far right, and this versus them. I don't have that kind of mentality. I do with certain topics and issues that I deem as just right and wrong in my own right, but I don't have any desire to be putting that into the content I'm creating because I don't see that it has a purpose. However, I can bring in the pieces around you stabilizing for your future with the times that are ahead of us. It is about, okay, so what am I doing right now? What's the trajectory if I keep doing this? And once you have your financial number, that is the cost of being and staying in this relationship, then think to yourself, okay, so if I am not doing that and I have that money I can retain, what can I do? I can invest in myself, in my health, in getting mentoring, coaching, eating better, putting some of it in a cushion fund so that I have this stability for myself so I actually can leave. Get the support, put the money aside. That's exactly what I did. I had a cushion fund to start my life over. You just need to be looking at your situation and preparing for that time. And this is what I'm actually going to be helping you with in my upcoming Leave and Level Up challenge. So I'm also doing a free challenge. It'll be free for this round, probably not for future rounds. And I am doing it live in a hidden secret private Facebook group for the sake of being able to just jump into the Facebook group live. And I don't do any of my coaching groups on Facebook anymore, my paid groups, but I'm doing this live series in there. In a group. We're going to be talking about all of these pieces around actually breaking free. How do you do it? Where do you need to go? What path do you need to follow to really step into that conviction, that solid certainty that you need to leave when you have gotten to this place of when you have assessed the impact it is having on you in the assessment. That's going to help you get some clarity just in that alone. And so having your own emotional safety is going to be paramount with all the uncertainty that's going on in the world. Staying stuck in something that is draining you dry and impacting your mind and body is a huge expense. It is expensive because emotional burnout equals missed promotions, stalled businesses. It causes your health to break down, which leads to rising medical costs for those in the US, or even if you are someone that does naturopathic care or you do alternative medicine, that is expensive, very expensive. That adds up like crazy. And also indecision equals years lost and thousands wasted on dead-end therapy and numbing behaviors. And so you gotta almost look at it like I quote unquote recession-proof your sanity and look at, okay, so times are uncertain. I'm unsure what I want to do. How do I protect myself? Now, the reason why I'm sharing this is because I have worked with high-powered, high-achieving, high-earning women with high-level careers who were the main breadwinners in a relationship like this that were being financially drained. And so we have this idea that women are helpless in this and they don't have the income and they can't leave and they're being abused financially. While that is definitely some of the reality of many women, unfortunately, I work with women who are not in that situation. Reason being is I want to work with women who are at a level where they're ready to start taking action and they have the ability and financial resources to actually leave once they get ready to that place. My job is to help you get there, but you need to have all that in place. So if you are someone that you're like, well, I don't have my own money, I don't have a job, I don't have this, he's got all the money, what are you doing, woman? You've got to figure that out. You're not powerful if you don't have money. You're not empowered. You're not fully in your power if you are relying on a man to fund your life. We need to have our own money. And so if you're in that situation, then you need to get that straightened out before, of course, you can do anything. This is why I created the Real Cost of Staying Calculator self-assessment. It's going to help you calculate how much staying confused, stuck, and burned out is actually costing you financially, emotionally, and energetically. And it's meant to be a wake-up call for you. I spent a lot of hours creating this thing, and I would love for you to have it and take it, and then even come into the group and share your score, what it is that you received out of that. And then also make sure that you sign up for the upcoming Leave and Level Up challenge. Both of those links will be in the episode show notes. And one last thing, if you could please just take a moment right now and leave a 5-star rating and review if this podcast has served you in any way. It is really helpful to see all of the reviews and written reviews and ratings stacking up on iTunes and Spotify. I so appreciate it. And I appreciate you for showing up here. And I will see you on the other side. Bye for now.
You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.